Hey, sixth grade, welcome to today's video tutorial. Today we've got the first lesson in chapter 3, which is on representing, comparing, and ordering decimals. Okay. A couple of hints that I like to give students when working with decimals is the number one thing is I like to think of decimals, if possible, as money. That just, for whatever reason, really helps me think about the number. Like for letter A here, we'll get to this in a minute, but I like to think of this as $1.07. It's just helpful for my brain to wrap its my I guess just helpful for me to think about it that way. Okay. The other thing that I think is kind of cool to or kind of helpful, and I'll bring this up right now, is this decimal place value chart. It's just a good refresher. If you know this and you feel confident in it, you don't have to write it down, but maybe just writing down an example of a few of these would be helpful on your note sheet. Like, for example, on the left-hand side of the decimal, you have your whole part. So your ones, your tens, your hundreds, you're pretty good on whole parts. The decimal part, the first spot after the decimal is the tenths. So if you had like a number like 5 right here, it was like 0.5 was your number, you'd read it as 5/10. Or if it was a 0 and you had a 5 in this spot, you wouldn't say the tenths, you would just say the last spot, which is the hundredths. So you would say 5/100ths if it was 0.05. Okay, and kind of so on and so forth. So this is just a good reminder of, which place after the decimal is how you correctly say that. So tenths, hundredths, thousandths, so on and so forth. So if you want to pause and write this down at all, feel free to do that. It's just a good reminder of decimal place value. Okay, let's take a look at actually one of our first examples here and see what we got for A and B here. Okay. All right, letter A says write each decimal in standard form, expanded form, and words. Okay, so we'll start off and it says expanded form is 1 plus what number? Well, if you look at our number right here, expanded form is just when you have the decimal and the whole number written apart from each other. Okay, so here it would be the decimal part that we need to include is 0.07 or 0.07. Okay, because this plus this would give us our answer. In word form, you would read this number as 1 and 7, and then think back to your decimal chart. What is this spot right here considered? Well, this is the tens and this is the hundredths. So hundredths, hundredths. Okay, kind of tricky to say, but notice how as well the and, you say this for the decimal point. Okay, so 1 and, wherever the decimal point is, you say and 7 hundredths. Okay, so that'd be expanded form and word form. Letter B, something similar. It's given to us though in expanded form. Notice how it's being added together. That is expanded form. When you have your numbers being added together, we need to now put that in standard form. In other words, we just need to add these numbers together. Okay, so there's nothing in the ones place, so I'm going to keep that decimal. How about the next spot, which would be the tenths place? 0, 0, 0. Okay, 0 again. Next, I've got 3 here. Nothing and nothing, so 3 plus 0 is 3. Okay, I've exhausted this one. I just need to work on my next 2. So I have 6 plus 0 would be 6. And I'm all out here. Now I just have 9 plus nothing would be 9. So standard form, or the way you typically see this decimal written, is 0.0369. Okay, Now for the word form, we have how many spots after the decimal, and what is that going to be represented by in words? Okay, well, I have tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and lastly, 10,000ths. Okay, so the word form here, we have 369 10,000ths. All right, perfect. That's how you do standard form, expanded form, and in words. Let's move on to the second example and see what we got. Looks like a word problem. And the word problem says the star Wolf 359 has an apparent magnitude of 13.5. So this is a star in the sky, and they're talking about its magnitude. Okay. Usually the magnitude references like how bright the star is. Okay. It says suppose another star has an apparent magnitude of 13.05. Which star has the smaller magnitude? Okay. Well, it tells you the first thing. Remember, when you're comparing decimals, line up your decimal points. So here I have my first number is 13.5, and my second number is 13 point, see how I lined up my decimals here? 0.5. Helpful hint here, you can always add zeros to the end of your decimals, and it doesn't change the answer at all. 0.5 is the same thing as 0.50, okay? And you'll see that's what they did here as well, okay? And then what you need to do is you need to start from the left and compare the digits. Okay, they started from the first spot after the decimal. So the first spot after the decimal here is a 0, and the first spot after the decimal here is a 5. So look for the first place where the digits are different. So we have 13, 13, that's the same. We need to keep going from left to right. Well, here is different. 0 is less than 5 in this number, so 13.05 is less than $13.50. So the star that has a apparent magnitude of 13.05 has the smaller magnitude. All right. And again, if you were to think about this in money, that would probably help you as well. $13.05 is less than $13.50. Okay. Go ahead and flip over to the back, and we'll check out example 3 next. It says order the decimals from least to greatest. Okay, least to greatest. Again, I'm going to be trying to think about these as money. $16.67, $16, and remember you can always add a 0, 60 cents, and $16.07. All right, so if, we can compare two numbers at a time. Again, we're going to write 16.6 is 16.60, add a 0 to the end. So comparing these two, we'd have 1660 is less than 1667. And if we were to compare two other decimals, we would come up with, well, 16.07 is less than 1667. Again, start at the left and compare the digits. So 0 is less than 6. And if we're to compare these two, 1607 is less than 1660. Look for the first place where the digits are different. Again, that would be here. Okay. If I were to graph them on a number line, let's see what I'm going by here. This would be $16.20, $16.40, $16.60. All right, sorry I got cut off there, but I think I was just talking about ordering them on the number line. So let's pick up there. So if I'm counting by my increments here, I go from 0 to 20 cents. So in between would be $16.10. So we're going up each time by 10 cents. And they're marked every 20 cents. So my first one, 1607, would be short of $6.10, right? So 1607 will be like right here. And then I've got $16.60 would be next. And then I've got $16.67. Well, if this was 1670 here, 67 would be like right here. Okay, so the numbers are ordered when you read the number line from left to right. The numbers from least to greatest are, the furthest to the left is 1607. Next was 16.6 or 60, same thing. And lastly, 16.67. Okay. Next, I'll have you pause, try out the 3 check it out problems on your own, and then come back to see if you got them correct. All right, for number 1, it said, write the decimal in standard form and expanded form. So it gives it to us in words, in the word form, and let's write it in standard form. So just pretty much the number. It says 11 and, okay, so 11, remember and means the decimal point, 2/100ths. So that's 2 spots after the decimal is the 100th spot, and I have 2/100ths. Okay, put the 0 in there. If we were to write that in expanded form, well, you could write that a few different ways. You could write it as 11 plus 0.02. You could, if you wanted to, you could even make it a little bit trickier, and you could say, well, it's the same thing as 10 plus 1 plus 0.02. That would work. I mean, you could write it in so many different ways for expanded form. All right. The next one, it says, Tina reported on a star for her science project that has a magnitude of 11.3. Maven reported on another star that has a magnitude of 11.03. Which one has the smaller magnitude? Okay, so we're comparing 11.3 to 11.03. Okay, notice how here I'm going to insert a 0, so I have the same number of decimals after. Okay, and now this is like $11.30, whereas this is $11.03. So which one has the smaller magnitude? It would definitely be 11.03 is less than. Okay, and lastly, ordering from least to greatest. Again, I'm going to kind of think about these as money. So this would be $12.42, $12 and add a 0, 40 cents, and $12.02. So the smallest of those would be 12.02. Next up would be 40 cents is smaller than 42, so it'd be 12.4. And lastly, the greatest will be 12.42 or 12 and 42 hundredths. Okay, so hopefully that's a good refresher on comparing, ordering, and representing decimals. If you have more questions, please let me know. As always, don't be afraid to go to the book tutorials, maybe check out some of their examples, and go from there. Kind of self-assess yourself and see where you're at in terms of how well you know this. Good luck on the homework from this lesson whenever you may have it, and we'll see you next time.